I want to tell you about the sheriff because I have a complaint. I'm complaining. I am actually, see, how they fucking do me, I'm ready for them. And they're just all about doing whatever they got to do to get me in their court. You know what I mean? Because I'm a fucking criminal. I can't even fucking, walk down the street. And so what we have here, I have this complaint. I just wrote it, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, the title is Lancaster County, Nebraska Sheriff's Department Citizen Complaint. Today's date, July 11th. Incident report. I am a legal law-abiding citizen of Lancaster County, Nebraska. This is a formal complaint about Lancaster County Sheriff's officers, Schmuckler, badge number 22123, and Officer S. Zig, 22154, on July 10th, 2012, at about 11:45 a.m. So this is in the middle of the day yesterday. I was at the 66 gas station located on Cornhusker Highway and 84th Streets. This is like on the edge of town. I was sitting in my car parked at the gas pump 6 facing the highway when a patrol car tried to ram the front of my car. He tried to ram the front of my car.
Really?
Yeah, out of nowhere. Just like I'm sitting there and out of nowhere, this guy comes out of nowhere and tries to ram the front of my car. I quickly put my car in reverse to avoid a head-on collision. When at the same time 2 officers, Schmuckler and Zig, immediately exited their vehicle, both pointing deadly weapons at my head. Then unlawfully detained my person while conducting an unauthorized search and seizure. This actually fucking happened to me. I was involved in they had attempted to murder me, I believe. This was an attempted murder from the sheriff. At gun.
What they say to you when they? What was the reason for them doing?
Well, hold on. At gunpoint, I was holding my hands up and outside the window when the officer told me to reach into the car to pull the brake. I told him I will not reach back into the vehicle. Please don't kill me. And I was begging for my life. I was arrested, and before the Miranda rights were read, or I could use the right to remain silent, I was violently coerced and by the immediate threat of bodily injury to give the officers personal information. Finally, after being held for about an hour while the officers searched my vehicle and could not find an arresting offense, I was released. As I was walking back to my vehicle, they continued to follow and harass. I told them they just performed an assault, to which I was told, do not talk. The camera on our car will show you we're trying to use your car as a weapon. This is not possible because their weapons were already drawn and in the process of using deadly force before I even knew it was police. I'm on my way right now to hand deliver this to those fucking cocksuckers. The 2 officers in question have profiled my vehicle, performed an illegal stop, and are extremely dangerous. There were 2 witnesses at the scene, and one was holding what appeared to be a camera. Witness 1 was a male, mid-20s, in a red mid-sized pickup truck. Witness 2 was a young female, dark hair, in a gray VW sedan. Both were parked immediately behind my vehicle, blocking me in.
Yeah.
Along with this complaint, I moved to press criminal charges for 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, I'm not fucking playing with these motherfucking clowns. They want to fucking put charges on me. If I went and did that, what would I get charged with, right? Think about it. If I pointed a weapon at somebody, what would they charge me with? But that's okay for them to do it. No, because if it's found that they were in the wrong, that's what the charge is. Straight up.
What was the original fucking deal, though? What was the reason for even starting?
Hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on. This type of erratic behavior was not warranted and unreasonable in the simplest terms. I feel these officers tried to trap by ambush, and this was an attempted murder to provoke as an excuse to use deadly force. I request the Sheriff's Department do a thorough investigation into this matter and also review the dash cam located in the front of the officer's patrol car. I certify this letter was hand-delivered to the senior duty supervisor located at the Lancaster County, Nebraska Sheriff's Department per civil complaint to be true and honest to the best of my knowledge and belief.
Wow.
It's just fucking straight up, really fucking easy, really simple.
So what was their excuse, though? They have to have an excuse or probable cause to do that shit.
Yeah, they don't have that's the thing, they don't have an excuse. They took my plates off my car. out of nowhere, at the time this was happening, they had just zoomed in, because I was pointed towards the highway. They came off the highway, and they must have come off the highway and just went like they were gonna ram the front of my vehicle, basically. Then at the same time, the vehicle didn't even come to a complete stop, practically. They jump out of their vehicle, guns pointed at my head. Well, how are you? That's what the dash cam would show. How are they to claim that they don't see probable cause? They would have to show somewhere down the line, well, there was an issue where I was breaking the law or I was an interest to them. You see what I'm saying? In some way, that led them to read the plates on my vehicle.
There's no stone plates were on your vehicle.
No, they removed my plates and claim that they're stolen, basically. So, I mean, and that's, that is, they're gonna claim, whatever they want. My thing is that if they would have to show in court, and that's what this all comes down to, they would have to show that they had some, they can't just have, I don't believe, I think that that's not enough. This is like a two-part thing. They can't just, I think it would be worth it to take it to a jury and then explain to them how they handled that prior to them removing the plates from my vehicle, saying that because that to me, that becomes that's not an arrestable offense. That's not an excuse to use force with a deadly weapon. You see what I'm saying? That all happened first. So they're not justified. They're not justified in. So it becomes insignificant. What they're charging me with, whether the plates are from fucking Mars, it's not relevant to how they went about in a supposed criminal investigation. See what I'm saying? Because you have to, in order for them to investigate and follow criminal procedure, you have to actually be a criminal first, and they can't just decide that by the description of my vehicle, and that's what they did. And then so I was going back to my car, and I said, I said, here's my wallet. I held my wallet up. I didn't offer it. I said, here's my wallet. Why were you asking me my name? And I said, you guys performed an assault. And there were still witnesses, because there were new witnesses at the gas station. I said, you guys just assaulted me. And then they started coming back over to my vehicle, approaching my vehicle, and asking me questions like, you have insurance? And I said, look, I got my ticket. I'm not answering any more questions. I'm actually going to walk away from my vehicle until you leave. That's what I told them.
Right.
In which case I did. I went and I took a breather, and I because they're looking for confrontation. They're looking for an excuse to fucking continue to harass me and possibly search my vehicle or whatever.
Right.
And if I'm fucking in the back of their vehicle detained, that, I mean, I'm assuming that they're doing that anyway. Right?
Yeah.
And then finally, so finally, they wait for the witnesses to leave, and then they let me out, and he continues to look at my vehicle, and now at this point they've removed my plates, which is, it's I don't think it's an excuse for them to do that, what they did. I think that they profile people. I think that they just stop people. And people they go along with it. They shoot the shit with these guys, and they find minor, they pull people over by profiling. They run plates without due process, without without probable cause. They get behind people and run plates, and that's a police state.
Of course it is.
Because that's a violation of your, if you're not doing, that is a violation because you don't have probable cause. That is unreasonable search and seizure. You don't have a reason to just profile people, to run, and look for things on their person. If they're not doing anything wrong, let them be, let them go, if you do, that's the thing. That's what's wrong with these police. They can't get the second part of what they're doing, because a good dirty cop would make an excuse as to why somebody's getting pulled over. They're doing it first, and then trying to lie about it later, and they get caught up, and they're not able to make sense of it.
Right. But they used to do that. They used to say, I've had them follow me, pull me over, and their excuse was, it was a suspicious vehicle. And I said, what makes it a suspicious vehicle? It was a newer model vehicle. There was nothing suspicious about it. That's just a probable cause at the time, which the Supreme Court threw out. You cannot...
No. You have to actually have a tangible piece of evidence. There has to be something that led them to the discrepancy. Something that they were doing, like, here's the idea. If you have a traffic stop, here's the thing. If the unlawful search and seizure part is like, the idea is that if you're, like, for example, they're searching something of your property, and they're going to have, prior to them doing that, they're going to have a reason, which would have to be upheld by the court to do that. So they're going to come up, they're going to have to, prior to them doing that, they have to have in their mind something that they're going to say or use as a reason for them to do that.